Hey everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video, I'm going to be going through the top 3 products in all of my face categories. I've seen Kelly Gooch do this video, and I saw a couple of you leave in my comment section that you wanted to see me do it. So I will leave Kelly's video linked down below. She's done face and also eyes. I'm planning to do eyes and then lips as well. So today we're going to run through primer, foundation, concealer, bronzer, blush, and highlight. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, welcome. So I do start my videos with an outfit of the day. So I am actually getting ready to go to a Barbie event tonight. So I am in all pink. I did do a little bit of filming on my makeup look. I'm not exactly sure if this is what I'm wearing. I got this dress from a local boutique today. I got this little bag from Target and these shoes from Target as well. I don't think if I wear the dress, I'll wear the shoes, but like, I don't know. This is somewhat of the vibe that we are going for tonight, and I'm very excited about it. So I will link all of my makeup down below and all of the products that I'll be listing. Anything that is marked with an asterisk is an affiliate link, so thank you so much if you use those. But like I said, I've seen Kelly do this video and I love talking about my favorite products. I hope that none of these are a surprise in this video, and I'm excited to share some things with you, including a little bit of a curveball that I was thrown recently. Is that the right? I don't know if that's really what I want. A surprise? Let's just get into it. So starting off with a primer, I was like, should I just mention all e.l.f. primers in here? I've done some videos talking about how I just think e.l.f. primers are fantastic, like affordable makeup that I think is better than high-end. And e.l.f. to me really dominates the primer category. So I decided to put 2 in here from e.l.f. One being their Poreless Putty primer. I did not put this in makeup that I've hit pan in. How dare I? It's actually what my other surprise was going to be. This video is already taking such a turn. But I clearly love my Poreless Putty primer. I've been using it for so long. It's so nice and affordable. I think it's fantastic. And then I do also love the Power Grip primer. So I have the like original. I also have the one with the niacinamide that is pink. I should have grabbed it honestly for the aesthetics of this video. I think that's a really nice one too. But again, e.l.f. primers, to me, I don't like to spend a ton of money on primer because it's something I don't use every day, especially right now. I'm honestly just constantly applying sunscreen, and then to apply an SPF and then put like a primer on top and then all of my makeup, it just feels like too much to me. So most days I'm honestly just skipping my primer, but these from e.l.f. are fantastic. And then I also wanted to mention this one here from Lawless. I've talked about this a lot as well. This is the Set the Stage Hydrating Primer Serum. So this to me is almost kind of like in the skincare category as well. It has some good skincare ingredients in here, and it feels very lightweight and just very hydrating on the skin. This is one that I tend to especially reach for in the colder months as well. But again, it's just, I think that it's a great one. I've almost gone, oh my gosh, I've almost gone through this entire primer, and I have another mini of it too. I think they're great. Foundation was a pretty easy category for me as well. I had to mention the Dior Backstage Face and Body. I talk about this foundation so much. I always like shake it around right before I start filming videos, but I need to remember to one day to not do that so you can see how much I've used of this. For years, I think it's great. It's gonna give you more of a light coverage, but it's very lightweight and it's very my skin but better. I am someone who's very into like no makeup looks or quick and easy. I don't wear a lot of foundation, especially right now in the super hot months. I tend to go for just like concealer and powder. It hit 122 degrees in Vegas the other day, okay? So like, I'm really not trying to like wear a ton of makeup. But if I want something that's just gonna smooth out my skin, make it look better, this one from Dior is a great option. And I use the shade 2.5N. I also really love the Loreal True Match. Had to mention this one as well. This, I have the shade N4, and this is their reformulated, so it now comes with a pump, and honestly, I think it's even better than what we had a few years ago. It says right on here, it's a super blendable foundation, and this is one that I have said, I feel like it just blends itself. So the Dior is, you know, more higher price since it is more of a luxury brand, and the L'Oreal is going to be a little bit more affordable, so I think those are some good options. But again, this is going to give you your your skin but better, a little bit more coverage than the Dior, but it's still nice and lightweight and that more like light to medium coverage. And then honestly, this one is a like tinted hydrator, or what is it? It's the Urban Decay Stay Naked Hydromaniac Tinted Glow Hydrator. To me, I would think this would have the lightest coverage out of the 3 that I'm mentioning, but I feel like this one is really the most. I feel like this is a solid medium coverage product, but it's beautiful. I have the shade 41 Light Medium. This to me is a product that looks good on so many people. Again, I've been using it since it came out. I think Urban Decay sent it to me in PR a couple of years ago, but I can tell also, like I can't see it through the bottle, but it feels more than half empty for sure. I use it so much. I've recommended it to so many people, and those with dry skin love it, those with oily skin love it, those with combo skin love it, those with mature skin love it. I mean, I have not, anyone that I've recommended this foundation to and they've tried it have told me that they love it. It just feels like it's such a versatile product, and I think that it is fantastic. So those would definitely be my top 3 in the foundation category. Concealers, I feel like was a little bit tough for me because I love concealers, and like I said, I often wear a concealer versus a foundation. I had someone ask me in the comments the other day, why do I skip foundation but then put concealer all over my face? And that's a great question, and they said I see a lot of other people do it too, like I just, you know, want to understand. So great question. For me, I think why I tend to gravitate towards it is even if I have concealers that are more full coverage, they don't feel as much as a foundation. I feel like with concealers, I also use a lot less product because I'm just getting, you know, whatever is on this doe foot here or the applicator here, that's how much product I'm putting in any areas, and I feel like I have a little bit more control versus with a foundation. You're oftentimes like, you know, either pumping something out or like the Dior, you're pouring it out. Even though there's ways around it and, you know, I can like tap out product on my hand and all of that, again, I'm someone that's just like, when I do my makeup, I like to do it pretty fast and pretty quick to be like as less messy as I can, and I just feel like I can get that with the concealers. So I feel like I have like a little bit more control. I feel like, again, even if it's a full coverage concealer, I still feel like I'm putting less product on my face. And I typically feel like with most foundations, I really need to make sure like I'm getting everywhere, versus with a concealer, sometimes you'll see, especially if I'm having a little bit worse skin days, or if I'm going out like to an event like I am today, or I'm going to be gone for a long time or something like that, I'll kind of put the concealer a little bit everywhere and blend it in. But sometimes I really just put the concealer on my under eyes, like my forehead, my chin, sometimes like a little bit around my mouth, and I feel like when I blend it out and put powder on, that looks great. Versus the foundation, I feel like I have to really make sure I cover my full face, otherwise it looks uneven. So those are just a few reasons why I typically do a concealer and a powder, and I just feel like the combination usually works really well for me. And with the favorite products that I'm mentioning in this video, I feel like my skin ends up looking really well, holds up really well, holds up in the heat, and I do have dry skin, so wanted to mention that also. But for my concealers, 2 that I'm gonna mention, these were in my recent beauty battle video. One has been a holy grail of mine for over a year for sure, if not even more than that, and one is newer to me. But we have from LYS, this is their Triple Fix Brightening Concealer. I use the shade MN1. It's a beautiful shade match for me. This is one where every time I use it, I'm like scraping along the sides to get as much product out as I can. I know this is a concealer that I'm about to finish off, which has me really excited because I definitely have a larger makeup collection. This is my full-time career. I definitely have a larger makeup collection, so when I go through a product, I get very excited. I just did a video recently talking about all the products that I hit pan in, and I was mentioning in there that I've been doing a low buy for 2023 when it comes to makeup, and I feel like that's really helping me finally become the project panner. Like I started doing project pan videos probably in like 2017, and I would always fail at them, and I feel like I'm really doing it now, mostly because of my low buy, and that is, you know, having me use all of my favorite products again and again and again, eventually like going to use them up. And I love that LYS, they're available at Sephora, but they have a little bit more of an affordable price point. They're not like drugstore prices, which honestly are like getting high. I mean, everything's getting higher by the day, but they have a good price point for Sephora. Up against that one in the beauty battle, and the one that won by just a hair, is my new love, and this is from Natasha Denona. It's the High Glam Concealer. I use the shade N4, perfect shade match for me as well. It is what I have on today. This concealer is just so beautiful. It is very lightweight. It's one of those that is so easy to blend. Like this to me, when I was talking about the L'Oreal True Match being super blendable, that to me is the Natasha Denona concealer. This one is a hydrating serum-based concealer, and I can tell it has a very liquidy consistency. Again, it makes it very easy to blend out. It gives a nice brightening effect to the under eyes. I can wear it all over my face like I have today. This is just a standout to me. I purchased this in my last Sephora haul and just have been kicking myself that I haven't tried it sooner. I've heard some good reviews about it, and I also love Natasha Denona. I'm an affiliate with them. My code is Samantha for 15% off on the website. I've heard good things about it, and I finally went ahead and did it, and I was like, why? Why did I not purchase this sooner? Definitely recommend. And another, this is a concealer duo that I love so much. This is from Sigma Beauty. It's their color correcting duo. I use the shade light to medium. This is one that I mentioned in Makeup I Hit Pan in, because I have hit pan on this side. So how I use this product, this is what I use all over my face. It's just like a little bit darker in tone, a little bit more like to match my skin, I don't know. And then this lighter shade here is what I use on my under eyes because it gives a little bit more of that brightening effect. I remember the days where I used to be into like the super light, like nearly white under eyes. I would use a really light concealer. I would use the Laura Mercier Secret Brightening Powder, not the translucent powder, the Secret Brightening Powder. And I was like, this is the vibe. I look back and I'm like, really? That was your vibe? This one from Sigma Beauty. This is another one that is so blendable. My dog just let out a big snort, like, okay, wow. I remember those days too, says Aries. But this is also super blendable, and I love that you have the two shades, because like I mentioned in my pan video, I can use the LYS all over my face and in my under eyes, same with the Natasha Denona, but something about using this one, I just like that you have that kind of lighter shade as well, where like, this would not look good on my under eyes, but I like that it gives that brightening effect, and then this I can use all over my face. I love the concept. So obviously this is the one I hit pan in first because I have, you know, more real estate than just on my under eyes, but this is a beautiful duo. I am an affiliate with Sigma. My code is Samantha, but they are also running their semi-annual sale. I'm not exactly sure when this video will be going up, but if it is still when the sale is going on, it's like up to 75% off the website, so be sure to check it out. Otherwise, if it has ended, you can use my affiliate code, again, which is Samantha. Let's talk about powder. Again, I have two here that were in my beauty battle video, and one was a little bit dethroned. So we have the Dior Powder No Powder. I still wanted to mention this because it still, to me, is a top powder. Honestly, the other two I'm gonna mention are the two that I use all of the time and I use the most consistently. But I also don't really feel like I have another powder that I would put in like the top 3 spot. So I had to give it to the Dior Powder No Powder. This is the shade 3N, which is what I use all over my face. I also have 2N, which I use under my eyes. It's a beautiful powder still, even though it's been dethroned by one. I still use this for like, what, 2 years? This was my most used powder. I've gone through like 10 compacts of these. And to me, it just really gives you that filter on your face, and it just like instantly kind of blurs everything, smooths everything. Especially when I was really struggling with acne, this was a product that I leaned on so much because it gave me so much more confidence, because it just really covered everything. And I loved this powder, so still had to mention it in the top 3, but it did get knocked off by my Lawless Beauty powder, which I am wearing today. This is their perfecting powder. I use the shade light medium. My pan just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger because, like I said, I use it every single day and I love it. I said that I like this one a little bit more than the Dior, and I feel like it's dethroned the Dior because it still gives me that kind of blurred effect and, you know, like the skin softening effect, if you will, when I use this powder. It stays really well. It doesn't break up on me throughout the day, even in this heat, but it feels a little bit more lightweight to me. The Dior feels just a little bit heavier. The Lawless feels a little bit lighter, and to me looks a little bit more skin-like. Whereas with the Dior, I don't feel like I can miss a spot because it's very noticeable, and even when I do wear it, I feel like I need to always bring it down onto my neck and sometimes even my chest, just because it blurs so much. It literally looks like I have like one of the filters that you can use on social media, but it just blurs your face and not the rest of your body. So then it's like you can tell you got something going on. That can be the Dior powder versus the Lawless. I just feel like is a little bit more on the natural side. So highly recommend this one. And then my third powder, of course, that I had to mention, Charlotte Tilbury. This is her Airbrush Flawless Finishing Powder. I use the shade 2 medium and it's beautiful. Obviously, I've gone through many of these as well, and I'm gonna go through this one. This is what I primarily use on my under eyes. So again, I use the Lawless all over my face, and then I'll come in with the Charlotte Tilbury to set my under eyes. It is a very smooth, very lightweight powder. The Lawless I can use on my under eyes, but again, I feel like it's better as a face powder and it just has a little bit more oomph. Whereas the Charlotte, I think it's a beautiful face powder as well, but the like standout to me is definitely for the under eyes because it's so lightweight. The skin on your under eyes is so thin already. I don't like to put, you know, a really full coverage concealer down. I don't like to put a lot of product down regardless, but I don't like to put a really heavy powder down also. So this one from Charlotte Tilbury is beautiful. It's been a standout for many years. All right, for bronzers, I have one cream bronzer that I really love. It's from Rare Beauty. This is their bronzer stick, and I have the shade Power Trip. Again, speaking of super blendable, this bronzer is it. I did a Get Ready With Me recently, and I was talking about who influenced me to buy which brands, got me interested in which brands, kind of reflecting back on old school beauty YouTube days. But I was getting ready with a lot of Rare Beauty products, and I do use this bronzer, so if you want to see it in action. Again, I've had it for a long time and I've used it a lot, but I did most recently use it in one of those videos. It's a beautiful shade match, and again, it's just so easily blendable. When it comes to bronzers, I like something that's very natural, something that blends well, and also something that builds well without ever looking like it's too much on my skin. So for that reason, I also love from L'Oreal, this is the Infallible Fresh Wear Bronzer, and I use the shade Light Medium. This one is so beautiful. Again, buildable, blendable, it looks natural on my skin. This is a more affordable option as well. I ordered mine off of Amazon. I was hearing great reviews about it, and it turns out to be one of my most used bronzers. I don't know if you'd be able to see it on camera, but there is quite a dip in it. I don't know if I'll hit pan anytime soon, but it definitely has quite a dip in it. One thing about this bronzer is when I first started using it, I was like, it reminds me of another bronzer, but which one? It reminds me of the Marc Jacobs Omega Tantastic bronzer, which I found the other day. It was hiding. This also should have been mentioned in makeup that I have hit pan in, because look at that. There is pan in my Marc Jacobs bronzer. So my dog has cancer. She's underneath me right now, and you know, this last week like hasn't been, it just wasn't the easiest, and I was home a lot. I had like canceled all my plans, and I just like wanted to be at home with her to kind of help her, like, you know, through some things. And I was just kind of like sitting around, and I was like, okay, I'm not doing anything productive. Like, I'm at least home with her, but it doesn't mean I have to like just sit on the couch. Like, I can do other things, right? And there had been some things that I wanted to get done around my home. I've been really focused on like trying to declutter and be more organized this year. And one thing I really wanted to do was move kind of like my like front table, if you will, from my living room, where it was just so cluttered and had everything on it, and move it into my office to put my printers on it, and also to make like a packing and shipping station. I do own my own business, which is BYSamanthaMarch.com. Again, I don't know when this video is going up, but I am having my 2-year anniversary sale going on now. So the code is 2 years, and it saves you 30% online. I have gratitude journals, 90-day planners, I have decks of cards, sticky notes, notebooks, products like that. And I wanted to give myself a space for the brand as well. You know, 2 years after I moved into this apartment, 2 years after launching the brand, I was like, I'm going to do it. And then I just got so excited. I was like, reorganizing everything, cleaning everything. I mean, it was days that I was doing this, my hall closets. I was like, look at me go. And then I was in the bathroom and I found this in a drawer, and I was like, what, how'd you get in that drawer? How long have you been in that drawer? Why did I put you in that drawer? For me, sometimes when I clean and I put things away, then they're just bye-bye. gone forever. Like sometimes that's why I'm someone who has things like out in the forefront. Otherwise I seriously forget about them. And I was like, no, my Marc Jacobs bronzer. So I pulled it back out and I am continuing to use it. So when I was sitting down to do this video, I was like, I feel like I can't mention it because I lost it and I should have known. But then I was like, but I love this bronzer so much and I have for years and I hit pan on it and I'm really proud and I'm gonna have it out front and I'm gonna be using it so much. So the Marc Jacobs bronzer, you can no longer get it. I did a video recently on dead beauty brands and I talked about Marc Jacobs, but that bronzer, she's back. She's back. I do also want to give an honorable mention in the face category because this is a face and eye palette, but I use it so much. I actually have the bronzer and blush and actually highlight on from this palette. It is one that I have done in collaboration, and I don't know why. I feel like whenever I do videos like this, like favorite products or top products, I feel like I can't mention my own collabs, and I don't know why I'm that way. Like I'm like, oh, that's just like self-promotion. And I'm like, well, who else is gonna promote you? Like what? Self-sabotage runs freely in my brain a lot. But this is my Life's a Draft palette that I did in collaboration with Over Cosmetics back in 2021. We launched this palette. And so inside you have eye shades, which I have a couple on my eyes today, and then also face shades. So I have the bronzer in Key on today and the blush in 6 as on my face. And then also the Dream Chaser highlight I have as my inner corner and brow bone highlight. I don't wear highlight a ton these days, but I think this one obviously is still beautiful, and I also think it's gorgeous on the eyes or for the inner corner or brow bone. But I have been reaching into this palette so much, especially for the blush and bronzer lately, like pretty much all this week. That is what I've been wearing out of here. Obviously, they are products that I made and, you know, had input on the shades and the formula and was trying everything myself until we got to the finished product and all of that. So clearly I love them, and clearly, you know, they work for me and my skin tone and all of that. But I wanted to mention them because I just wear them so much, and I love that you have the eye shades as well. I'm someone who really likes multiple makeup products in one thing, so I can just like grab it all out. Like I love a palette that has, you know, a bronzer, a blush, and a highlight. I love the ones that combine the eyes and the face shades. It's just my vibes. So obviously I love my Life's Draft palette. It is still available. You can get it on the Ofra website, and I am an affiliate with them, and my code is Samantha. I do have individual blushes and bronzers as well, and highlighters if you're interested, and lip products. But moving over to blushes, like I mentioned, I love the 6 blush, but I definitely had to mention from Lawless Beauty, this is their Vintage Love blush. I wear this all of the time. I swear I don't hear like anyone else talk about the Lawless blushes. I hear a lot about their lip products, but man, this blush, it's just a beautiful like neutral rose, and it's so gorgeous. It just gives you that natural flush to the cheeks. It's more of a matte blush. It's simply stunning. I use it all of the time. Reminds me a little bit of like Tarte Parte. It's just like a little bit deeper, I would say. I also really love from Charlotte Tilbury, this is the Cheek to Chic in Pillow Talk. This is gorgeous. It kind of reminds me shade-wise of the Lawless, but this is going to give you more of that satiny finish, so it's going to give you a little bit of a glow. I think that it's beautiful. You know, a little bit higher price with Charlotte Tilbury and the Lawless. You can get these both at Sephora as well, but I think they're beautiful. But then we don't have an affordable blush to talk about. No, we don't, because we're gonna end it with Dior. So this is the Dior Rosy Glow blush in pink. This is a beautiful blush color if you are looking for Barbie makeup inspo for sure. But I really love this because I feel like it looks a little bit more intimidating in the pan. To me, it almost looks like a neon pink, but on the cheeks, it just gives you this beautiful bright flush of pink without being too much, without like, again, when I would look at it, I would almost think of the word chalky, and I was like, I just don't think this is gonna be a cute blush. And then so many people loved it. It went viral everywhere. It was constantly being sold out, and I was like, really? And I walked into a Sephora one day, there was one left of these. I was so shocked to see it, like even see it out. It was out in the forefront, like, hey, we're back in stock, you should buy one. And I was like, okay, sign me up. So I bought it, and I love it. I wear it so much. It's a matte blush, and this is so long wearing. I think all of these blushes that I've mentioned are very long wearing, but the Dior really takes the cake. Like, if you know, like if you work really long hours, or if you just know that you have an event, a wedding, something along those lines, that Dior blush is not gonna fade on you. I feel like I've been messing with my hair all video, but I think I'm gonna curl it before I leave tonight. So I have like some product in it right now. I don't know. We'll see. So I don't wear highlight all that much like I mentioned, but I thought I would put my top 3 in this category in case you are still loving highlight, because I do have some that I really enjoy. A newer one to me is from Rare Beauty, and this one is their Exhilarate highlighter. This is so stunning. It's one of those that is just kind of like glass on the skin, and it doesn't give you that stark, I mean, I don't think any that I'm gonna mention here give you that kind of stark look. It's just very smooth and just kind of melts right into the skin and gives you this gorgeous glow. I got this scent in PR from Rare Beauty with these like beautiful earrings, which I'm actually gonna wear to, I have so many Barbie events coming up. I'm gonna wear it to another Barbie event because it's just like there's like such a vibe. And they're like personalized, which is amazing. But this highlighter is also no joke. When I got the package and started trying it, I was like, okay, Rare Beauty. And then some older ones that I really love, you know, I had to mention Mary Lou from The Balm. She's like a tried and true, a staple. She was my only highlight for such a long time. She was my first highlight. We go way back. I've never been able to declutter the Mary Luminizer from The Balm, and she's still a vibe. She's still a vibe, okay? And then of course I had to mention from Natasha Denona, the Super Glow. Oh, this was one of my original products that really turned me on to the brand. And I was so nervous. I did a full video recently all on Natasha Denona, the best and worst of the brand. And I mentioned in there I was so nervous to spend $38 on a highlight. And I was like, I hope this is worth it. And man, it was worth it. It's, again, it kind of reminds me of the Rare Beauty where it's so smooth. It just gives you kind of like that glass skin-like finish that we want to achieve. And it's beautiful. This is one that I wore so much that I'm so surprised I didn't hit pan in it, even though I've only hit pan in one highlight. Again, it's the highlight that I collaborated on with Ofra Cosmetics and Start Inspired. I love that one so much. I mentioned that in my makeup I hit pan on video as well. But again, while I don't wear highlight all that much these days, there's still some that I love and can still appreciate, so I wanted to share them here with you. But after that, that is everything for this video. These are my top 3 in all of the face categories. I will be doing eyes next and then lips. Let me know if you want to see anything else though, and as always, if you enjoyed this one, please make sure to give it a thumbs up. I hope you also consider subscribing before you go, and I'll see you in my next one.